Okay, the next one is on vinyl. What you're going to need this time around is a pencil like this. You need a big square. Where's my square? Need a square like this. Need a yellow spatula. If you want to get those off your tool bench. And you'll need your gloves at the end of the session, at the end of this little piece. Kevin, you want to take that and then help me with the vinyl?
Okay, there's 3 in here.
On principle.
What do you want to do? Take them out here.
Yeah, one of them has that flap cut. Now we really need to turn them over, so grab the front end and walk with it. Here, grab this front end and walk with it up that way. And let's kick the back down here.
There we go.
Okay, now, one of them here.
Yep.
This is the double cut. No, this is a good one, so this can go, put this up here. And it goes around, keep going. It's going to go in, no, more. We laid these all out last night, so we got them. Is that the simple cut and then the, right. Okay, this is mine. Okay, have you teamed up? Who's with me? You're with me? Okay, I'll just leave it sitting for a little bit. We got to talk about it. Okay. Now, vinyl. It would be real simple if we didn't have the counter in here. But there's a counter we got to go around, so it becomes real complicated. But we're going to take a look at what we're trying to accomplish here. You can say, well, throw vinyl down on the floor. But if you just throw it down on the floor, this floor has had a water problem. If we have bathroom problems, toilet, sink, tub, anything, it'll go right under the floor, the floorboards on the wall and into the floor and under the vinyl, and never dry out if it's on the other side of the vinyl. So we're going to play a game that's not usually done. Everybody will tell you you're crazy to do it. But when we're making bathrooms with tile floors, we put the tile on the floor and then we put one tile up the wall that's actually sealed to the tile on the floor, which means it's like a swimming pool. You can spill all kinds of water. The babies can have fun in the bathtub. It's no problem. You mop it up and it's gone because it doesn't go under anything. So we're actually going to bend the edges up 4 inches on the wall, which makes our job as renovators a lot more complicated. But we're going to do that. We're going to make special corners and we're going to seal the corners. So just to show you rapidly what we're doing, it's an extra step towards preventing spill water from turning into mold. So we have an opportunity. We just fixed the structure. We killed all the fungus. There's nothing there to come back. We're going to put in a good seal for the toilet later. So we're solving all those problems. So we're going to cut out, that's the pattern of what it looks like. The inside open space is the floor itself. And then there's a little tab that folds up on the wall. And another tab folds up on the wall over there. And it looks like this when we start to fold it up. And if you want to see it in 3D, in real life, here's the mock-up of just how that works. And all those fold up and fold over. And then we end up with a strange problem on the outside corner. But if you want to look at that, I'll put it out here. Let's make a little room. I'll put it out here so that anybody who wants to see it can check that for the tabs and things like that. But it means we have to cut the tabs so that like the back one folds up and then the other one comes around the side. They bend around the sides. Then we have to Okay, we bent it all around the sides. It looks like this when it's in place. But notice the outside corner has got a big V opening in it. So now we cut a square piece of scrap and we put it over the top. All of that with what we call back caulking. So we're going to put caulking on the wall in the corners, just the corners, and then squeeze it in. So it has to be all cut and sized. It fits. And then we pull it back, caulk it, and then we fill that in, and that corner won't leak. Because caulking will not stick to vinyl. So we've got a caulk on the back side where it's the paper side and it will stick. Now when we fold this over and crease it, we actually break the back. But if we do it carefully, we break the back, but we don't break the front. Because the front's another material and it's much more durable. But breaking the back suddenly allows us to make a clean fold on that. So, and it ends up looking like a pan like that with a sealed vinyl floor. So let's back up. And so what we've got to do is get to that. That's probably the best one to see it, is what we have if we, let's pull this out and just lay it on the rug, just because we don't have a lot of room to work there. We measured 4 inches in, and the only thing that will mark on the vinyl is a pencil. Felt pen doesn't work. It just melts off. So you got to make your marks carefully and insistently with that. And then we did this, and that's where this comes in. We marked a line, and then we bent up to that line. We worked our way along like that, and then we worked our way back to make sure that it was all nice and broken and square. Now I have something I can work with, okay? And we did the same thing on the other side, same thing back here. Now that one corner, I actually made a mistake in the cut and decided to leave it there to show it to you. This one bends up like this, but it's supposed to bend in like this. But I had cut it on a line that looked like it was the drawn line, but no, the drawn line was over here. Okay, so you got to pay attention where you're looking. As this comes up, this will come with it. This will come around and make it one whole piece. Or we could put it in the front if we wanted, either way. And then we put it down. Now what we're going to do is staple it to the drywall, just to hold it in place. In a real situation, you get it all cut up, get it perfected, and then you would actually put some glue down to do that. We don't want to staple through the floor. That's where the water goes. But we could staple high, and you could actually do it that way, and then it stays put. Particularly if I put glue on the wall, I don't want it to fall away while the glue dries, so you might want to staple it. And so we have staplers here too. So our biggest problem is that we have to measure this notch right here. So that's what it is on the floor, and then we add 4 inches for the tabs, and then we cut it. And then we cut down the line, okay? So how do we do that? How many of you work in metric? You work with metric in school? You work with inches? The 3/8 of an inch you got good in your head, and 5/8 and 7/8. And it's complicated, isn't it? And sometimes metric is actually simpler. If you're really confused, work with a double tape measure, like the ones you got on your workbench. It's got a metric and imperial markings. Sometimes it's just easier, even if I work in inches, to measure something in centimeters, because I don't have to understand them. They're easier to count. So it's 8.5 centimeters or 18.6. That's all it is. There's no 8ths and 16ths and 64ths and all that stuff. And so there's far fewer lines to have to keep track of. So sometimes we do that. But whenever you can in renovation, leave this in your pocket. There's sometimes we got to do it. I got to measure 4 inch for the flap. Okay, I got to do that. But if I can leave it in my pocket and actually mark the wood I want to cut or the vinyl I want to cut by the construction site itself. Okay, because no two construction, even these are not all identical. They're close. But if we were doing it with measurements and we tried to take the measurements and draw that out on the floor, we'd be here all day long. So if you're going to grab that corner, you're going to grab that corner. And I'll show you what we're going to do. You've got that 4-inch fold there, right? Bring the 4-inch fold. No, just back off a little bit. We're going to come up high here. You're going to bend your 4-inch fold and take it down to the floor. So straighten it out until your 4-inch fold. Make that crease and take it right down to the corner there. Yeah, fit it in there tight. Now I need you to do it 1 inch that way. Okay, are you tight in there? Now you notice what we're using. We could use metal spatulas, but I prefer the plastic because it's not going to cut the vinyl. And you don't slice with it. You could cut the vinyl, but you can push this into a corner real nicely. So we're going to come here, and the red pencil that's there, yeah, and we're going to say, this is my floor cut mark right here. So if I mark it there, I have no bloody idea how many inches that is from where, but I know that's exactly where I want to be. Okay? And so if we take that, and that's all straight, pass me the big square. Now we can come out like this. Two things we can sort of cross-check. One is to follow the cabinet out like this for a ways, parallel, and just see where it goes. And the other is to run it square from the edge of the vinyl and see where it goes. And if they go to the same place, you can probably believe it. If not, you take some sort of average in the middle and we'll adjust later. Okay? But that means that I want to come up here like that. This is not my cut mark. This is my fold mark. I've got to add 4 inches on for the part that's going to come up the wall. Okay? So we want that to do something like that. I'm not going to go too far to make a mess out in the floor. Now we got to do the same thing for the other side. I'm getting too old for this. So if we fold up the tab, take it, pull it out of your way, pull it totally towards you, keep going, grab that edge. I'm going to bring it down here. Now come in and butt the wall, and we got to fold this tab up. Okay? Now you can let yours overhang up there, but you're not at all straight. If we got to get this back wall straight, push it. Don't do it too tight in the corner because we don't want to bend that corner. So no, leave that corner alone. Leave the corner alone. Come back this way and make it tight here. Push. I don't think it's in. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
You need to pull out. Pull out. I can't get no satisfaction. Push it in. You're not square yet. I can see a lot of room. Push the whole thing in that way. Okay, so that's going to give me this mark. Now pull it out of the way so I can work out here. Pull a little more. So we want to, no, go ahead and pull it out so it's out of the way. I want to use the edge. Where's my other mark? Way out over there. So the other mark is out there at about 19 inches, thereabouts. So we mark that up. Now this whole thing is easier if we're not going up the wall because you just do that cut and you can do it conservatively and cut off a little more, cut off a little more until it fits. Going up the wall makes life more complicated. That's why I like to go up the wall. I like complications, but now I'm trying to find my mark. And with the pattern here, you have to pay attention to color, light shadows and things like that to not get distracted. And did like I did, I cut on this line instead of my pencil line. Okay, what I want you to do on those two is do exactly what I just did here, of moving it in and physically marking that out till we get that drawn. Okay? So you two guys work on yours. You two guys work over here. Who's on it? You're going to work with them, Kevin? And we'll get that marked out. And then we'll work on doing the 4-inch lap. You followed pretty well what I was doing by butting it into the corner and getting my dimension. Yeah, and then this is not the cut line, but that is the floor line.
Okay,
So now what we got to do is I want you to get used to marking this. We want to come up 4 inches. Oh, I hate these labels. They always come right where you don't want them. We'll turn it around this way. So if we have it at 14, we want to go, oh, that's all right. We can do that. We want to come 4 inches up. No, that's what I ran into. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 inches up is going to be here. Now this top line that we're going to cut is less critical because it's floating up here and we're going to hide it with a floor trim. Okay, so you see we got 4 inches there, and then we'll bring our 4 inches up here. Come out here, and we're going to come up here someplace like this. Okay, now you don't want to push hard enough. You got to push hard and go back and forth, but we don't want to cut through the vinyl. So you'll find that you have to probably push harder than you're doing because we want to be able to see the bloody thing. You guys want to start working on getting the corner spaced in? Yes, I can see it. Okay, let's get 4 out here.
This is where we're cutting, right? So we don't have to measure anything.
So if I
We know that that's
line this up like this, no, we'll need 2 measurements, so we'll come up here. Where's my pencil? Is that the pencil line? There's the pencil. See, I'm doing the same error again. I'm going back to the crack there. Okay, you want to make it darker? Let me get it in here.
follows the framing.
Yeah.
coming out here. Okay, you need to, somebody hold the square.
That's good. Okay. They got a, can you get you over there? Oh, yeah, you did already. Okay, good.
There.
And we wanted to do that here
You're going this side. Now hang on.
from that
Now
line,
that we're
right? No, wait a
following
minute.
that, are we
Where's it?
following
There
that?
it is. Okay.
So let's make a line there.
Good.
And a line there.
I'm losing my eyesight. That's what happens at 80.
Get you the big pencil. Is that pencil working?
Nah, it broke. Pencil broke.
4 inches there.
Ah, it broke.
Which one is 4? 5, 4. 4 is this one. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Going the wrong way. Going the wrong way.
need
We
a
need the
carpet.
tab in here. I'm making a mistake. The tab has to come here to come up, right? Okay, my error totally. Let's start over. So, we go to, and I'm going to take this one, 14. Where's the mark? In the middle of the 14, okay. 14 to 10, okay. And then we go there. Don't put put too much pressure or you'll break the pencil at that angle.
Okay, we got a line.
Can you see it?
Try this pencil. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, now, now we have to do the same thing with this line, right?
Okay.
So in order to find this line.
And then this guy here has to go up 4 inches, like that. So I'll put it on 14, okay?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shuffle this whole thing over.
And we come down here.
Got it. Now you push on the
Right
front
there.
of this piece. Line up. Here, scoot. No, fold this over, fold this over. You push. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay? Now we don't want to cut, this is the floor. We don't want to forget that line, and we don't want to cut anything here. That's all scrap. So, an X-Acto knife. Let me get one for you.
So give it a home. So we got a 1/2 inch. That's gonna come way up. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Do I have it in my pocket? No. Guide. When you cut, the rule is you never cut like this where your hand's in line. Okay? So we get it out. So if I wanted to cut this and follow, well, we're going to actually use that piece in a little bit. If I wanted to cut it right there, I just lay it down really low and pull it. I can always go back if it's not enough, but it probably is enough. And I'm cutting on something that doesn't matter, not the hotel rug and not a finished floor. Okay? So you can go right from this corner out, that corner out, and then cut that down. Okay? And then I'll come back and help you fold it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Now, let's get off of that thing. So I want you guys to find this line.
Okay, so what do we got for that line?
Give us a good line. This pencil.
Let's see what that gives us. Indication mark? You got to, okay. Take the pencil in its strong position. If that's not strong, this is strong. And we got to rub a lot. We don't want to cut through the vinyl, but it has trouble leaving the mark. And so there's one mark. Now let's just see if we can come out here, and we'll see how far we know we want to come out approximately. No, this is not bent up yet, so we're going to be coming out further. Okay, so this needs to just be brought out straight
No, you guys.
for somewhere
The next thing we need.
around, well, what is this depth? We take that depth plus the 4 inches, it's actually 24. It's about out here, so it's all the way for your
4 inches.
square. You want to hold that, and maybe you want to draw and you want to
Here's 4 inches.
hold it there. You need to hold both of them firmly so that he doesn't move it as he's drawing.
Okay, somebody hold the square.
Now, I want you just, for your own knowledge, to try this here in the open. See, that's not marking. There, it's starting to show. That's how much you got to rub. Okay. How are you doing? Can you see?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I started to draw it on the wrong side. Because that's got to come up the wall.
Hold on. Hold on.
I took manufacturing 2 years, turned me home 2 times. I know what I'm doing. Fresh.
Okay. All right. Give us a line. 4 inches in and 4 inches in.
Good.
Yeah.
There.
That'll cover up the, it'll be covered up by the baseboard.
Right.
Professional.
Okay, so can you make a mark to know where that is? You could actually just do it right on the edge, right up here.
Shit, it is.
Bro, you missed it completely.
And then we'll use this sort of extended.
You're on camera too, buddy? Yeah, on camera too. 4 inches of cut. 4 inches is right here. I don't know 4 inches, right?
Now let's straighten this square back there.
Maybe a couple meters.
Now you could probably run the square along the side of the counter. Because the counter is down flat there, no,
Other way.
down here. Because the
Same way you did,
counter is flat.
just like that.
Oh, it's not quite flat, okay, I was imagining it to be flat.
You want to just hold that so it's square there? Yeah, there you go.
Only takes 6 guys to do this. Hey, she's cut out, did you cut your, now, what we gotta do, and I'll do one, you do one, is that we put this on the line, and we kind of bend up a little bit. We're not worrying about getting a perfect job, but I am keeping the yellow thing on the line, because I want that to be precise. Now, the fact that I got it bent a little allows me to bend it the same little bit again. You see, if I try to do it on one end of a long thing all the way at once, it doesn't work because the rest is resisting. Now I'm breaking the back. You can feel it breaking. But that's what we want to do because it's the only way it's going to give us a permanent crease. But because of the nature of this material, it's not breaking the front. So you see, that'll fit in nicely. So now you got to do this one. And then I'm going to go work with them. But then what you're going to do is in here, you're going to take a piece 4 inches. Well, there's already marked 4 inches. So you cut off a piece of this, and it will go, when these are both up, that piece will come around here. Okay? So you want to try bending that? I'll watch you for just a minute. You push hard on the left and you lift up. Don't try to go too far. Come back and do it in stages. Because once you get your initial crease started, you can kind of move much faster if you're doing a big floor. Okay, now just keep coming back, bending. If you prefer working the other direction, you can jump to the end and come back again, whatever is comfortable for you. Are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
You're left-handed? Huh?
Right-handed.
Come over where I am, you'll find it easier. And see, because your left hand doesn't have to do much, and your right hand has more coordination for making that fold.
You got your line?
Beautiful, beautiful.
We can cut that.
Now you're going to draw one line right here, which is for the fold up. So draw yourself a line that goes from point to point. If you see how hers is?
Oh, yeah, it's like that. Yeah. Make sure we found that corner right there. Boom. At the point. So at the point, see?
So you see how that folds up? And then we'll have to patch the inside little corner of that V. Probably about, well, enough to get past that point. So 4 inches high, 4 inches long, because it'll bend up in the corner like this. Well, let's say, oh, now that's almost the piece, isn't it? If you bend those up, and so if you cut a piece here, you already got a crease there, and you cut it there, it should do the job. Okay? Are you a seamstress too? You sound like you almost understand this. Oh, you don't need a straight edge cut. That's a rough edge. It's hidden by the molding. Just do it with your arm. Just do a free cut. You just keep your hand out of the way.
What's the other knife?
You got your knife?
Do one side, you can do one side. Just to have fun.
Just to have fun.
Yeah, just get in a comfortable position if that's possible. Talk with your buddies about where you're cutting. We'll. Yeah. Yeah, always come to agreement before you cut. Low knife blade. You don't have to work too hard on it, but keep it low. You can always come back and make another pass, but it'll probably be good on the first pass. Okay, now you can trim off that round that, yeah.
I said we can do it.
Does it fit?
Okay, now that has to. Did you just cut this whole piece?
This has to be cut.
What has to be cut? And you bend just a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. Like you see here, it's not smooth, and a little bit. Then you come back and you bend more, and you'll break the back. That has to happen. But when you break the back, you're not, now you see this here where it wants to be strange? By breaking the back properly, it's good over here. Okay, so that stays straight. So going back and forth like that, you end up with something that will stay up. Okay, and that's what we want to do. You see with hers, this comes up and that goes up. Okay, that is important. And that if you look at see the corner on the left-hand side there, we're working in that little V section, right?
Yes.
So what happens here is that this piece is going to come all the way through. There's this piece that wants to fold up, okay? So what is left straight? So this fold is here. This is a cut right there. If you look at this as a diagram, you see, we come down here, these two cuts have to be made to work in the corner. And then when it comes up, it folds like that, and it folds like that. Okay? So, you got that? Get the fold in.
Fold. Yeah?
Now you're talking about that corner. Here's what goes on in the corner, guys. Is that obviously we have these 4-inch pieces that are giving us trouble, but we fold this one up. This one I've designed to slit this way. Could be the other way, but I designed to slit it that way. This can go in front or back. This goes in front or back. And then we cut out of the scrap a 4x4 or 4x8 piece that wraps around the corner. And that'll all be glue. It would be siliconed before we snug it into the corner. We'll dry run first. But before we snug it in, we silicone to seal this corner. Can't seal it with silicone here because nothing sticks to the vinyl. Okay? So that's, you were saying you got to cut the corner. and
Yeah,
you're
we
right.
just don't have a knife. That's what we're just.
Here's what you got. That look like yours? Okay, you already did that one. Okay, you got that figured out by what looking up at the top. And then this one is cut right here, huh? Good. She can follow without worrying. What's it look like for a dry run? Let's just try. Fold that up. Let's see. Okay. Can't do much over there. Okay, that goes like that. This wraps up here. I can't do it perfectly for the moment. And that comes in, covers that. Looks good. Okay. Now what you want to do is clear off the stuff, get everything out of your way, and we'll actually take a staple gun and staple it into place. Have the opposite side. Get your hands free. Get your hands. Give me the stuff here. I want you over here. It's your artwork, and I want you on camera. Okay, you gotta bend that piece up. Okay, you gotta bend the other one up. Gotta do everything all at the same time. Okay.
This is an inside corner, this is an outside corner. It is an inside corner.
Hey, 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 hey.
Well, we're gonna cut from here out to there.
The back is bothering you. There you're going. So we gotta move over. Oops.
Careful. Okay, now, so we just made that little cut, right? So when those fold up, right? That goes
See,
up.
this
Yeah.
tool helps a lot.
These just folds up, that one goes up. I'm gonna do the same thing, see if we have to do that on that corner.
Does that fit in over here?
Okay, so we're gonna
Oh,
move this
we
whole
got-
thing over, so we get it back home.
We got too much. We're gonna leave that extra on that side. So Kevin and I set these up last night. We made them too, well, it's better to be short than to be long for what we're doing. That's in tight there.
Let's try and put that thing,
Okay.
see what happens.
Now you see, in our measurements that you and I did together, there's that much error that it's not, doesn't want to snug up because this. So our choice would be, if we wanted to really snug that up, we could actually move this cut out a little bit and remake that pleat enough to come in. But I think we're going to live with it for now. But if you were doing this in a real house, you'd say, oh my God, how are we going to do that? I think we have room to move this way, right? That's looking good. Well, that actually fits here. What is wrong with that? Okay. Hard to push the rug you're sitting on, huh? Okay. Little lesson on staples. Used a staple gun before?
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta make sure the nose is tight. If you've got your weight down here, the staple is problem. You gotta really keep your pressure here and then staple. Let's see if it's gonna staple. Well, that didn't work at all. What do we got? Oh, I got a safety here.
And very likely you'll run into cabinets in a renovation, and you might have to do something.
Okay, that's gonna stick like crazy. Okay, you get it ready to staple? We got loose stuff to tie in first.
It's already bathroom, so this would be that.
This guy, actually, well, that's not bad if I tuck it in right. We need to come along here tight. Why don't you staple that down? Now we're just stapling into drywall, so it's not gonna hold terribly well anyway. Good. And then down here, right about here first. Okay, because here we're gonna get a double, and I wanna make sure that we're ready for the double. I actually should cut some material here. It's giving me trouble. Can I pull that one staple? Looks like I can. Do I still have a knife, or did I give it to somebody? What we need, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can reach it better than I can. Without cutting through to the other, see that on the bottom there? There's just a bubble like that needs to be taken out. Open the knife all the way. Okay.
Is it in the corner?
Yeah. Just
Get you on to check your work.
Are they ready for staples? Or they stapled it?
But no, come and have a look.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and play with that just until it's almost, oh, that'll work. Go ahead and staple it snug. That'll work. Yeah, we have this extra space. We need a piece that's 4 inches to go around there. So we'll cut that line out of the scrap first of all.
Where's the knife?
Squares up there, if you like.
So just eyeball it because it's all hidden by the trim.
Yeah, kind of like this.
Nice. Nice.
Now one end of this has already been folded. There it is. So we have that. So we just need to cut this here. So if you just cut that there, it gives us the piece to go around the corner.
Got this now. Got this.
You
Been
see?
having it.
Now that fits in here and covers, just gotta crease it. It's gonna fit in and cover the corner. Okay? Now, staple gun. Staple gun, you have to, first of all, there's a safety on this one, comes up like this, and then you can't do anything, it gets in your way, you try to staple and it doesn't work, so you gotta get that out of the way. If you have it like this and the weight's in the back and all your weight is back here on the trigger, it doesn't work. You gotta put all your weight on the nose. And with the nose in tight, then you pull the trigger. There's only one staple gun on the market made where they push down where they should. But you see, that makes a good staple. And then that's gonna stick, well, can't even get it out without ripping the vinyl. Okay? So you want a staple? Yeah, you're gonna need those tomorrow. You want to staple just down a little bit from the wall. We never staple in the floor. And right now we got a little bit of bubbles, so let's stay just a little bit high. And go around a few staples. It's just going into drywall, so it doesn't hold that well. It's not like this one that's impossible to get out. But try, pass around, both of you guys do stapling, and then staple this guy into place. And we're in business. Okay? Do, and we'll, so before we go any further, we will do, is we need to pre-caulk the corners. So, take a caulking gun, and this is a little bit of that, pull that corner up. Okay, I'll hold the corner. Cut that off clean, like that. That was my mistake last night. Okay. Now, we're going to go in the corner and just butter it. Now, I don't want to do a lot because I don't want to mess up a hotel. But basically, you just do a little bit and up the seam. What we're doing is caulking all of this. If you want to, you can actually apply some here, or you can just count on that coming in and doing it. But by pre-caulking it like that, now we're not, looks like we don't have a tight fit anymore, so we need to get off and push that in. Well, that go in anymore?
No, I think you need to. No, there's a gap.
There's still a gap? Yeah. Well, we'll live with the gap.
Yeah, because alternatively you're cutting that corner so to make it come in.
Yeah. So, even here, why don't you take this piece, why don't we go ahead and staple that up and call it quits on that. Run your staples across there.
All here?
Yeah, well, just where it's bubbling. Yeah, just look for the bubbles. Like here's a bubble, staple it down. It's sticking out a little bit, huh? Yeah, you did it kind of quickly without putting pressure on the backside. You got to open there, open.
Because then what happens is the baseboard is just going to
It's going to lean a bit.
cover that. It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's not tight to the corner, but
We're not going to hit perfection today.
so let's get this. We'll get this corner here. So we can just,
Okay, you guys did those two corners. Okay, so let's wait. Young wants to do that.
Okay. Just make some progress on that. We won't finish, but do some progress. But theoretically, we would put some silicone in the corner there. What I'd like to do, and there too, but we've already started stapling it, so we're not going to bother. But that's the idea, is sealing it like that. Then if the water comes later, it's not going to go anywhere. And you'd probably run some staples right through the area where the silicone is. Now here, if you put a silicone bead on this line, and a silicone bead on this line, and then we bring this into it, and you might even want to do a silicone bead here and here, and then you just put that up and staple it in, okay? And then we'll call it done. You could throw a staple here just to make that look better. Let's just get one shot. Looks like it fits. I want to show you the caulking. We've already stapled it in, but normally what we want to do. Oh, you did the corners. Okay. What I would suggest for this corner is that you run a bead of caulking up this joint and down this joint. Particularly drop it in like that and staple it on.
Here's the lid up to the caulk.
And try not to make a mess on the floor in the middle. You can make a mess on the wall because it's going to be hidden.
you can use the square to cut it.
Now, we need that flap here, right?
And especially I didn't want to do a lot of caulking because we're in a hotel room and I don't want to pay for a new rug. Okay, so now, oh, you got it up.
I'm so gentle.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Congratulations, good job. You didn't have a real partner to work with, but no, but you impressed me by watching the drawing. You could just understand what we wanted to do. It's good. Thank you.
You want to go on the bottom. If this is the bottom, go right here. I'm sorry.
That's going to fold up, yeah.
Now when you put it on, it looks like you don't squeeze too much out. Well, if you do, we can't.
This one, this should.
Has to stick to my car.
So giving you the.
bottom, right?
So right there, essentially duplicating what you did here, over here. Staples.
Give me
This line should
So I really recommend if you're doing this on a real job, that you make a sketchy piece of paper. It doesn't have to be the right size or anything. But do it on paper, because everybody I show that paper to, they say, "Oh, now I got it." And it also tells you where do you cut for the tab, you know, because otherwise, you're in the middle of it, you'll cut the wrong line. Yeah, the worst part is it's hard to see a pencil line on this stuff.